Oh my God.
Whole house.
Oh my God.
Whole house.
This has been, Robert, a true multi-state event. I have seen, my team on the ground has seen significant impacts in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Tennessee. I saw the impacts here in Florida yesterday. I'm traveling to Georgia today so I can see the impacts firsthand there. And I'll be in North Carolina on Monday so I can assess the impacts there. But we're hearing significant infrastructure damage to water systems, communication, roads, critical transportation routes, as well as several homes that have been just destroyed by this. So this is going to be a really complicated recovery in each of these 5 states that have had these impacts. This has been, Robert.
Why haven't most men?
This
Whole house.
Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor as due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone at Rulewell. Blessings and salutations to the whole elect. Noise in this gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. We're here with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord's word to be edifying. Covering this Hurricane Helene. As we saw in the TikTok video, a house floating down the street. Now, this storm struck from Kentucky to Tennessee, parts of Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida. And it said it had 10 plus inches of rainfall that fell in the darkest areas. And basically, a lot of the water reached inland. Because, mainly Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Florida, even parts of Georgia. Those are considered coastal states. So Florida got ripped in half, man. Okay. North Carolina, South Carolina. The devastation was pretty bad, especially by these being coastal cities. I was doing some research and they admitted that a lot of those insurance companies then pretty much left Florida, because they realized the amount of money they would be paying in damages within insurance claims. Basically, it wasn't going to be worth it. But I speculate that a lot of those companies got up and left that place because they knew something big was coming. And then we understand how Esau uses something called geoengineering, which it was a movie that came out back in 2017 called Geostorm, when basically they was manipulating the weather. So, this could be that. All right, even though this is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's judgment. Nonetheless, he's allowed Esau to use things on the left-hand side. All right, so it says Hurricane Helene mapping more than 600 miles of devastation. Damn. It says Hurricane Helene, which is a powerful Category 4 storm when it made landfall, carved out a devastating path from Florida's Gulf Coast to Tennessee. It reports destruction and record-level flooding stretched more than 600 miles. Wow. But as of Sunday, officials have reported more than 100 deaths from the storm. And it's way more than that. Okay, they mentioned that you got people that was displaced, possibly power outages for weeks, perhaps months. Okay, so whatever the news is telling us, of course, they're downplaying it, but it's a lot worse than what it is. It's almost like Katrina, and then you had the lady from FEMA talking about she's going to make firsthand visits to these particular states that was ripped apart by the storm, which is the judgment of the Heavenly Father. But overall, man, FEMA is probably not the ideal to go to in situations like this, because FEMA, let's put it to you this way, has a history of dealing nefarious with the people that they said to help. As we know, FEMA is really set up for emergency evacuation orders and detainment centers. It says officials in Newport, Tennessee, ordered thousands of residents to evacuate following the concerns over a potential dam collapse with flash flood warning. And the crazy part about it is I believe that they're getting hit with 2 more hurricanes that may follow around the same path of totality to some degree. So then Florida is jacking this place up, and we understand Florida, mainly like Atlanta, or the Georgias. There's a lot of wickedness that go down there. Okay, there's all types of witchcraft, wickedness, idolatry, adultery, all types of shit that goes down in these places, man. And not just here, Babylon the Great in general. So these are the plagues that Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is bringing upon Babylon the Great, okay? It says dozens of patients and staffs were rescued from the Unicoi Hospital here in Irving, Tennessee, after the Northern Chucky River reached record levels. Cars were seen stranded on flooded roads. In Boone, North Carolina, Governor Roy Cooper called Helene one of the worst storms in modern history as part of the western North Carolina. Wow. Peep this. Residents in Asheville, North Carolina, were left without power, water, and gas, and struggling to find food as hundreds of roads were closed off the state. And like I said, a lot of this water made it inland. 2 people died in Anderson County, South Carolina, after trees fell on their homes. Another person died in a car crash during a storm, which, like I said, that downplaying the death toll. Wow. Literally, you need a boat in neighborhoods. Wow. And y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Y'all don't think that this is bad. Wait till Yahweh Shai really opens up the judgment, the floodgates of hell on you people. Keep this.
Right now, the southeastern region of the United States is coming to terms with everything that Helene washed away. The storm hit in Florida's Big Bend region just after 11 last night. In Taylor County, Florida, leaders estimate about 90% of Keaton Beach homes were destroyed. The storm also knocked out power for about 300,000 customers. There's no timeline for restoration. And take a look at these aerials from Pinellas County, south of Big Bend. The wind whipped boats up to shore, some hitting houses. And off the coast of Sanibel Island, south of Tampa, the U.S. Coast Guard shared this video where crews were able to rescue a man and his dog before Helene made landfall. A dramatic rescue, but the good news, both are okay tonight. Moving now into Tennessee, where today bands of the storm forced patients and staff of Unico Hospital out onto the roof. This is in Irwin. The Tennessee National Guard says it rescued about 54 people. All of the patients were safely transferred to a different care facility. Leaders are looking to see if there was a structural failure that allowed the nearby river to rise by so much and so quickly. Flooding also impacting the Carolinas. This video shows King Street in Boone, North Carolina. This was live streamed during the storm with several cars trying to make it past the floodwaters. In Rocky Mountain, North Carolina, a confirmed tornado is blamed for injuries to 15 people and damaging 14 buildings. This drone footage shows the damage left behind there. And in Pickens County, South Carolina, the rising floodwaters led to 2 people being rescued. They said they had ridden out hurricanes before, but this time was different.
I guess we stayed in here too long. It was low and then it just came up.
We've been through hurricanes in Maine and Massachusetts that never did anything like this because we weren't near a river,
But tonight across Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia, there are more than 4 million people without power tonight. The fear is that the outages could last for weeks. As people start working to rebuild, Georgia's Attorney General is urging homeowners to protect themselves from scammers. There are 3 things you need to be aware of. You want to steer clear of contractors who ask for payment up front. Avoid door-to-door offers for repair work, and always check out the name of a company with the Better Business Bureau to see if there are any complaints filed against them.
The most important.
See, said millions without power, and I ain't seen nothing yet because, you're going to have some people that's going to go without for longer than that. And we know that's the Jake population, but a lot of you Edomites are getting jacked up too, you know, because the scriptures tells us that, you know, that houses are safe from fear. But now that ain't the case. Okay, now the Most High is opened up on you Edomites now because, hey, this is the time of your judgment, and them curses are falling upon you Edomites. To call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Isaiah 28, 26, and I'm gonna start at verses Isaiah 29. And let's start at verses 6. It says, Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunders and with earthquakes and with great noise, storms and tempests with flame and devouring fire. Okay, so the Lord prophesied the storms were going to come. Okay, when it says earthquakes in diverse places, that is talking about seismic style earthquakes, but earthquakes as well could be known as calamities like hurricanes, tornadoes, etc. Though it is talking about a typical earthquake, but the Bible predicts inclement weather. Okay, this is the book of Isaiah 28:2. It says, Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which as the tempest of hell and destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth. It says cast down to the earth with the hand. Okay, but the Lord said he have a mighty and strong one, you know. So, man, it's a beautiful thing as we're under plagues now, and these plagues are going to continue to intensify because, you know, this is the Lord's judgment once again. All right, this is the book of Job 15 and let me see something. Hold up, Job. Let me see something real quick. Salakia. Job 37. And let's start at verses 4. It says, matter of fact, 3, it says, He directed it under the whole heaven, and his lightning unto the ends of the earth. And after it a voice roareth. He thundereth with the voice of his excellency, and he will not stay with them that his voice is heard. But the power thundereth marvelously with his voice. Great things of he which we cannot comprehend. So some things that the Lord do that just have no explanation to it. Now, like I said, this could have been a use of Esau's weaponry on the left-hand side, but it was still Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai's judgment. Okay, it says, For he said to the snow, Be thou on the earth, likewise to the small rain and to the great rain, and of his strength. So the Lord controls these things. Okay, that was considered a great rain, a hurricane. Okay, a hurricane. Tornadoes, you know, tsunamis, and what was that in Cali a couple of years ago? You had all seasons in one: snow, flooding, rain, earthquakes, fire, tornadoes, you name it, you know. But it reads here, He setteth up the hand of every man, that all men may know his work. Then the beast goes into dens, every man in their places, and out of the south cometh the whirlwind. Okay, and when they in the south, all right. And it says here, And the bread of the waters is straitened. No, out of the south coming the whirlwind, and cold out of the north, you know, coming to like the North Pole, like they say, Antarctica, usually typically cold and up north than down south. But by the breath of the Most High, frost is given, and the broad of the waters is straightened. Okay, and also by the watering he wearieth the thick cloud, and he scattereth the bright cloud, and it is turned round about by his counsels. Yeah, you know, because he has the ornaments, you know, have particular things that set up in place when the nature scene, and also the angels first and foremost. All right, that they may do whatsoever he commanded them upon the face of the world and the earth. Okay, it says he caused it to come, whether for correction or for his land or for mercy. And this was for correction and for judgment, because ultimately the Lord is getting ready to lay this place desolate for all the evil and wickedness that is done to the chosen people. All right, let's go here real quick. Matter of fact, let's go to 2nd Esdras 8. Second Esdras 8. Whole chapter is really good. But let's just go to chapter verse 50 and then we'll end it. 2nd Esdras 8 and 50, it says, For many great miseries should be done to them that in the latter time should dwell in the world, because they have walked with great pride. Yeah, prideful. You know, they pride on how they got their homes and, you know, their careers and all this other shit. And most of those states, they had a heavy influx of Jake slaves, especially down in Georgia, Tennessee, you name it. You know what I'm saying? Georgia, a lot of Jake slaves down there. Florida, you got a lot of Seminoles that was in Florida. And then you had what they call the Trail of Tears as well. You know, so there's a lot of blood on America that the Most High is going to require in this time we're living in, because the scriptures say that judgment comes in season. So, hey, it's safe to say that we're getting ready to start to see the plagues of Egypt finally decimate Babylon the Great. And hey, the worst is yet to come. But I'm going to end it giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you will edify. To the next lesson. Shalom.